Good animal. Why do I always get stuck with that? Oh, geez, yeah, you still get a lot of ick on this bottom. Okay. Want to swap? No, but I can't. I don't have a hand to shut this door. Why can't you do this one-handed? Because I get the bad bunny. And there's such thing as a bad bunny. He's real bad. Okay. Oh, he's okay. He's all right. He's right there. Very enough. There. Okay. A good time, or I don't know. Hold on. I'm the one we're late. Oh, sorry. Apologies. So here's the girl bunny here today. Her name is Madeline. That's what we're calling. She's very lively. Madeline. She's very lively. One of the problems that you have with bunnies that are kept in small cages is that you'll see he still has some of it on his. I will show you. Yeah. And we've been working on getting it cleaned off. I did a demonstration. We've been working on getting this cleaned up, but he, when you have a big bunny in a small cage, can you see that? That's here in the. So when you look down here, I'm trying to show you his coat and his wee tail. So because they're big bunnies living in small cages, they end up living in on top of their feces, and it's problematic, and both of them have it. But we've been working on getting it cleaned up. That's one of the bad things about small-sided bunnies. And I just wanted to address lots of different things. I didn't have my phone last night, which I've been reunited with my phone today. And thank you for the people that have spoken out either online or sent me text messages about the incident with the bunny. And I just want to clarify a few things. There was one person that was critical of our handling of animals in general. We don't do a night watch. I'll just kind of rattle things up. Oh, actually, that's not true. We do. You do? I do. No, actually, I don't. I get a running commentary from Nick. I check the cameras around about 7 o'clock at night by the time we get in, and he goes through every single camera. I check the cameras every night. Yeah. So we do actually do. Yeah, I don't do a physical. We don't do a physical walk. And also Nick comes down sometimes at 8:30 at night. Yeah. Because the ducks are extremely difficult to get in. Yeah. And you guys have been out. They've been out late on ducks. Yeah. So but in general, and he checks the rabbits before he goes to sleep at 11 o'clock. At night on the cameras though. Oh, always. Yeah. No, I check the cameras too. So the cameras are not only for you all to enjoy, but also we're using them to monitor the animals. We might not enjoy them. We might not enjoy them. But the incident happened with Siggy at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. 7:26. 7:26 in the morning. So we're not up checking animals all night long because we're actually sleeping too because it's exhausting around here sometimes being out in the fresh air. So the second thing, the Ziggy got a bot fly. You want to talk about the other animal, he's a bot fly, and quite frankly, by the time the reason it's a bot fly is that there's a hole, the larva, it creates a hole in the skin to breathe through, and what looked like an abscess actually turns out to be a bot fly, and it was very carefully removed and sterilized. And it was like something. It was like something from that Alien movie. Yeah, it was awful. And it just came through the skin. They live. They can live all over animals' bodies. And it was pretty horrific. I have never in my life. I've never seen a bot fly. When you pulled that thing out, and it just kept coming, and it was wriggling. At which point it was very close to all his nerves and his
it had been growing, so it comes in as a tiny egg. They're carried by flies. It comes in as a tiny egg, and this larva was over an inch long and thick. So you can imagine what it's doing as it's growing and feeding on its body. It was like, I've already ripped my coat this evening. I don't need you to eat it. He's nibbling on it. I know. And it was really horrific.
And it's rare that it does cause paralysis, but since Benji was so small, the vet felt that, because we did bring him to the vet, and the vet said, you know, give it a shot, see if you can get a wheelchair, and see if you can. And I tried that for several weeks, and then finally he took a turn for the worse. And so the vet recommended we let him sleep. And we did. And that was like, you can't really vaccinate rabbits.
You can't vaccinate for
they're very sensitive animals, so it's not recommended that you neuter them, because the anesthesia is a 50-50 chance of killing them. So they're sensitive animals. So that was, and then the other rabbit had it was not. We've been told by everyone that we've gotten, you know, the breeder of the rabbits, be careful of, don't worry about the cold weather, worry about the hot weather. Yeah. And it was not a hot day, and the bunny just died, and we just found him dead.
And when we spoke to the breeder about it, they said, unfortunately, that's just something that happens.
Because in order to get the big sized rabbits, they've done something. It's like the Great Danes too. Every once in a while, a Great Dane will die because their hearts don't always aren't always the commensurate with the size of their body. So that was a little bit of a shock. But Ziggy was definitely this last incident. You know, we live on a farm with animals, and we have enough animals that accidents happen. So Ziggy is something that I can't even say it would be avoided. That fence that Ziggy's been living in that fence he's never gotten out because of the fence. He got out every single time he got loose, is because that door that gets in there, he can push, if we don't snap the doors, you can push the bottom. He's always looking to get out of there. I don't know why, but I never really worried about it too much, other than Larky, because the entire perimeter of this farm has a wire, about a 6-foot wire fence, so not a whole lot can even get onto the farm. The only weak spot is the water at the second pond where the predator did get in, because and during the summer when there's no ice, then I don't worry about that spot. So, and I never.
Well, you actually went through a canoe and secured that.
Yeah, it was very secure. So Buddy couldn't get into the state forest. There was a fisher cat that got in. It came through a tree. Yeah. And got one of my chickens, and almost got you.
I've never seen such big claws, actually. Yeah. But it scaled the tree on one side of the fence, and it went up the bark and came down. And when I got it and had a word with it, it had climbed the fence. The exceptionally good climbers. I have been very fortunate in that I have had no further problems. Yeah. I do have dogs in the run beside it now. Yeah, I think that might help. Yeah. And it just, you can take every precaution. Farms are not for the faint-hearted. Yeah, exactly. There is, on the other side of the property by the neighbors, there's an opening where the deer come in. And I never shut that because the deer kind of come through and then they go off, usually way back by the Tanner barn. Sometimes they stop and graze on the front lawn, but in a parking pit. But that's far away from, and if something came in from that end and wanted to get into where Ziggy and the ducks are, it would have to go over a 6-foot fence. Yeah. So these animals are pretty protected, but things are hungry. So, and also someone commented on the turkey that died. That was an egg. It was egg found, and it's a tricky thing to actually diagnose in the first place. But as soon as we realised that it's been egg found out, unfortunately, this was a brand new laying turkey. Yeah. So this was its first attempt at laying eggs. And I think what had actually happened is that very often when they first start laying, they lay what they call shell eggs, and I think it just hadn't been efficiently passing these soft shell eggs, so they build up. And the problem is, what happens is when they build up, they rot. So until she started producing hard shell eggs, and I will say before anybody comments, they have access to grit. They also graze on the paddock, which is sandy, and that is enough calcium to allow for the formation of the eggs. So it's actually quite a common thing for when they first go into the egg laying process, that they produce soft shell eggs. Unfortunately, her soft shell eggs had built up, and then she had basically the infection had been way up within the vent, and by the time I realised and scooped everything else out, it was she was too far gone.
Yeah.
And you know, happens with chickens. I've had chickens since I was in my 20s or 30s, and you know, it's unfortunately something that does occur.
Yeah.
I will say, when I used to live in Scotland, and I lived in an urban area, and I think I was one of the first people with chickens in my backyard. I remember I had cold neck at work, and I had an egg-bound chicken, and I really, this was my first foray into bird keeping, and I thought, right, the only thing is I need to get the egg out of the chicken's rear end. So I put on my dishwashing gloves, got my very expensive, beautiful virgin olive oil. I sat on the bench in the garden and oiled my rubber gloves up and proceeded to remove the offending egg from the back end of the chicken, and the chicken survived. And then I thought, God, I hope the neighbours aren't watching. And I phoned Nick, I said, you know, I think that nosy neighbour was watching. He said, more than likely. He's like, but you're already more than the crazy chicken lady.
You have a chicken fetish.
Yeah, chicken fetish now. So, you know, you live and you learn, and you try to do your very best. I will say, you know, we seem to be very regularly inspected. We're inspected by town. Yeah. We pass that inspection.
And the vet and everybody else always raves about the health and the welfare of our animals.
Yeah.
They all live, you know, there's people that say that the donkey shouldn't be out together and horses shouldn't be out together. When you keep animals, because like a lot of people keep their horses separate in small paddocks, but we don't do that because animals, they're herd-bound animals, and donkeys are herd-bound. Yes, they do kick at each other, they fight with each other, they can potentially hurt each other, but keeping them separate makes them depressed. And I'd rather have animals that have a good life true to their species. And, you know, that's why we keep all the donkeys together. People complain that the donkeys fight each other and they're fighting, and it's just what they do. They're not human beings, and they're not always the same type of behaviors that we do.
I always say to people when we're showing the donkeys and they're wondering whether or not, you know, for potential homes, if they're thinking about taking a donkey home and they've got an existing donkey, I said, I think what you have to remember with animals, and this is the thing we all forget, is that you have to balance your herd. We do it on both farms.
Yeah.
We have to move animals around until their personalities match. And people seem to forget that animals, like people, can sometimes take an instant dislike to another animal for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's like people, there's something you do
incompatible
and
animals. Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah, and so that's why we bounce things off Meredith. We have a really good, happy herd here. Now, I think that everybody gets along, with the exception of Magnus. They also talked, there was also complaints about the minis and Elvis. There was complaints that the goats don't get enough handling, and they're food aggressive. Well, goats as a species are food aggressive. They will pummel you. They will they will take a bucket out of your hand. They're terrible, but all goats are that way. So these goats are no exception.
Yeah.
And Elvis is food aggressive. He's always been that way. He might be a little bit more now that he has competition. Jimmy's got a little competition there, but Elvis is always a little ornery. And the minis last winter they were the same way. They get a little naughty in the winter, but always better this year.
But you see, they're not running off their nonsense. You see, they normally run, and what happens is they come out. Oh, at some point, listen, honestly, the coat's falling apart. Have at it. Don't eat it.
And we should have about the cookies. So I can't move, but mine's been really good, so.
That's a competition. Mine's perfect.
Yeah.
The thing is, during the summer, or the dry, or the less icy months, these little minis come storming out when it's not icy, and they run horizontally across the paddocks, and they chase each other, and they can't do that at the moment.
Yeah, they're all, and that's probably, I didn't even think about that. That's probably part of the problem is the only place they can run is in the arena, and thankfully we have the arena, because if you guys look on the cameras, everything is solid ice. I've been throwing out sand everywhere. I've made paths in the ice in the paddock so that at least the donkeys can go from one place to another, but they're tiptoeing around carefully because of the ice. So that's part of they're not getting their normal amount of energy and excitement. So and the little guy, what's his name? Sterling is he's also a young, and I don't think he's gelded, so I think we might have like a stallion problem. He backed up and went to double barrel me the other day, like kicked with both feet at me the other day, and I have to say, if they kick me, I'm going to kick them right back. Only once though, so I chased him off, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to kick people," but he backed up. He was eating, and he backed up with a deer stuff.
Oh my goodness, where did you get that?
Howdy, partners.
That's awful. Where did you get that?
Oh, and he brought us cookies for the honey.
No. I need to know where you got the hat.
Oddly enough, I got it from Emily. Yeah.
She
came over and she said, I thought
he needs a cookie.
Elizabeth or Janine could make use of this.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it seems like you're already making use of it. So I think it's perfect.
Can you just
did you get a cookie? He needs a cookie. Her
Bunny.
He just needs a cookie. Very excited. He's waiting on her. Yeah, hurry up. He doesn't like you as much as he likes me. He needs a cookie. Oh goodness. What? He's like that. Really? I can't move.
We're using all the time.
No, I don't think she's got buns in there.
Buns in the oven.
We got bunnies in the oven.
I don't know. I can't.
I'm going to need another couple of those.
Yeah, he's very hungry. He's actually one of the handlers today was Carol. She was like, he's very skinny. And he's very skinny. Yeah. For a bunny. She is not. But I think this is all baby. I don't know. So we're just going through all the complaints that people had against me. Not necessarily you, Elizabeth. Just mostly me.
Well, and we all don't mix. So it's my 8 hats and my 8. They don't stay on. You know I have a problem with hats.
It looks so good on you, Nick. You should just
So make sure you
you know what he looks like? What is that?
Woody from Toy Story.
Woody from Toy Story. Oh,
good grief.
Yeah.
Howdy, y'all. Out in internet land.
Yeah.
All y'all.
You just stick to your usual activity.
So, what were we talking about?
And so I think the thing is, what people also have to remember is that we work as a team. And what one does, we all do. And
we discuss a lot of it. And the welfare of the animals is never. So there was also so the minis. We've kind of explained that this is their off season. They're just going back to their true self. And in the spring, they'll get cleaned up, and they'll get, we'll start walking them again, and they'll get exercise, and they'll be warmer.
We have an allergic to Angora.
No.
No.
Rabbits.
And so the other complaint that I had against us is why we brought in these 2 dogs, and it was more because they had no place to go, and it was a family emergency, and a long-term supporter for Blossom. The woman that had these rabbits. He's upside down. Nick, careful. Yeah, Nick is upside down. Will you help him with that? Yes. Okay. Get him comfortable. He needs his foot up. He's got 1 foot down. Yeah. You guys have to feet up yourself, or he's good there. Okay, we need to cookie. And so the woman, these dogs were raised here on the property as they were part of the service dog project. I'm being very careful to only talk about facts, because as you know, we're still in litigation with, the Service Dog Project, and we have a case coming up. So they were raised here, and the original plan was her daughter was coming back, and she's having some crisis with her daughter, and needed to bring the dogs here, and really had trouble. Yeah, so and we had the setup for them. We have the ICU we don't have kennel fronts on them, but we do have the big paddock in the back for them to go out and run around, and they have a bed in the ICU. It's warm in the ICU. Justin can take care of them in the ICU, and she and her family were going to come and visit the dogs. Well, she figured out what was going on with, you guys can't control one. Look at my bunny. I've got the good bunny. Yeah, I know he's a good bunny. Yes, well, he's very excited today. And so originally she was going to come and visit the dog while she worked out this family issue, and with the idea that she would take the dogs back, and that was what happened. However, we quickly realized that these dogs were what I term as kennel dogs, very attached to each other. They had lived in her house. She's got a big backyard that's fenced in. The dogs would just go out in the back. She didn't put them in the car and take them places. She has one dog that is, because she had just taken these dogs in as well, so they were just turned out in the back. So they didn't have an opportunity to see the world and be expected to behave like most dogs would. So the black one is slightly leash trained. The big gray one, who weighs probably 150 pounds and is super strong, is not. He does things like a puppy would do, like flies back off the leash, bolts forward, and it's very difficult to get him away from the other dogs. I was not aware of that part of the equation. I don't know who went through that information, but I was not aware of how challenging they were. I thought they were going to be, and it didn't matter because I was under the impression that they were counting. We were just, it was a flowing situation. She was going to see what was going on with her daughter. They already had one Great Dane, and they took in these other two. And, so I was like, well, we can help you out right now, and we'll figure it out as we go along. So something told us, and the one thing about them is they are very friendly dogs. They're lovely. They're lovely, despite they're a little nervous, just because they haven't seen anything in the world. They would never bite. And so I've been working. So then everything's kind of changed a little bit. And also, now that I've had a chance to really assess the dogs, we gave a while for them to kind of settle in, and just getting them out and putting them in cars and everything is just not something they have a lot of experience doing, and it's going to take a lot of time for them to become, normal, relaxed dogs. So I've been trying with Elizabeth to take the smaller dog. I think has had a little bit more. She's better on a leash. She's smaller too. She's better on the leash. The bigger dog is definitely a challenge, and I can't take him out right now because the entire property is ice. So I tried to take him out yesterday. I got him in the car, and I let him out loose because I didn't want to try to hold him on a leash because I would break my leg. I let him loose. I got him in the car. I brought him to Ipswich Center, and I was going to take him for a walk. And I was worried. I opened up the door. I went to open up the door of the car, and I really thought I was not going to be able to hold him back because he tried to just jump over me, and I was able to push him back, but I was like, oh boy, I need two people to get him out of the car. And he was very nervous in the car, so I just drove him around while I ran errands. I had Wanda with me, who's very calm. It's very common for him, but he was so nervous. We did bring him to the co-op. He was very, very, very nervous at the co-op. I've gotten him to the point where I can take him for a walk in the woods, and he settles down, and he's really good. So we've made some good progress with him, and it's still, we've talked to Sharon about the owner, about how to manage them. So we're still trying to figure out what's best for the dog. I talked about taking him down to South Carolina, although I'm concerned now, knowing how challenging he is on the leash, because if I have to come back for any emergencies on the farm, which I expect, there will be, I'll have to fly back here and there. I can leave Wanda with my neighbors, but I can't leave a dog that's not leash trained. My neighbor weighs, 100 pounds. She's like 5'2". She would not be able to handle a dog. of that size. So we're trying to figure out what is best. Betsy Frost, I've reached out to Betsy to see, and Dana to see if they might be able to help as well. So we're just trying to help out. We have the capacity to help out. We have the experience to train and help dogs. If I was home all winter, I would be able to help this dog. Elizabeth would be able to help this dog. But we have a lot of other animals, and it's a little bit of a challenge. I just don't want anyone to get hurt. It's a challenge to do that during the night.
I think you have to. They always try and consider the individual animal's needs, but we also have to consider the farm as a whole.
Yeah.
And that includes the people living on the farm, because we can't have. We've got Carlene, if your mother decides to actually get up and get out.
Yeah.
It's so icy.
Yeah.
It's lethal at the moment.
Yeah. Really.
And it's very difficult, and we really hope that we would be able to provide more help, but I think being realistic.
Yeah, we have to be a little bit, and this is a changing, flowing situation, because I've learned a lot about this. I think the little black one, Mandy's fine. She's going to be fine. Justin is able to walk her. Justin's been working with her.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job with her. The bigger one is just, is so strong that when I take him, he's tied to my waist. So even if my hands can't hold him, I can sit back and he can drag me. He's not going to get loose.
Yeah, so you trip and then you're
getting
dragged.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, he's dragged me. But it's been in the snow, so it's not bad. So I've had to become a little bit more realistic of what to expect for him and get him we're trying to put together a plan where he can have consistent work. He needs to work every day in an environment where it's not icy. So we're going to just see what happens with that. So that's going to work. And I know a lot of people are criticizing us for even attempting to help, but I feel like Carlene is feels very responsible for all the dogs that she put out, even though these were not dogs that she bred. I don't believe she was dogs.
No, I don't think so.
Or had anything to do with. This person.
Well, they're Sizzle's lineage.
Oh, they're her, but not Sizzle's babies.
No.
Yeah. So, and this person that owns these dogs has been a long-standing helper for my mother. Actually, when Colby went off to college, I gave her his little 2014 Ford little car. I missed that car. It was a Ford. Oh no, Ford Focus. No, was it Ford Focus? Yeah, it's a little tiny car. For Americans, yes, big car for you guys. So we have a little bit of a history there, and I know that everything that's happened with the service dog project has been unexpected, but we're just trying to do what's right for the dog, and we'll see how we can figure that out. We're still working on it. So those are all the complaints that I'm aware of. Do you have any others that I've covered? Do you want me to complain about at some point? Yeah. Do you have any other complaints?
No.
Yeah.
Well, that was actually interesting, and when we were talking about the animal passing away by, the rabbit had a heart attack, and there was a dog apparently called Etta who had a heart attack and watched it on camera, and we were on, and remember Stitch on
God. Yes. Yep. Stitch had a heart attack.
Yeah. And
running through the fields at Meredith,
having a great time.
Oh, that was
and then
awful.
He just dropped. It was terrific.
Yeah. And there was a dog here that hit a tree or something at the top of the Chaos Hill. Oh, that broke it, like hit a bench. Yeah, the animals, they wake up every morning trying to kill themselves or get eaten by something. I swear to God. So I've been around animals, farm animals, my entire life, and especially rescues. And you can't stay down over losing an animal. You could just go try to help more animals.
Yeah. And
move on, because these animals they're tough. They're tough.
And I think
that was terrible.
And I remember that one. That was nasty. And I think the other thing is, it's actually important for people to be able to air these concerns, and but it. Sorry, we'll keep going. I'm listening. Yeah, it's important for people to be able to air these concerns, because quite frankly, if you've had those concerns, we've probably had conversations about them. Yeah. And, you know, this farm is revised on a frequent basis. It's revised after an incident. We're constantly looking for ways to improve, and that's how you grow and you learn and you get better. Nobody ever is 100% fantastic at what they do, because you're dealing with other animals that have a totally and utterly different take on life and are looking for ways to...
They have a different agenda.
Yes, they have a different agenda sometimes. You know, so I think what we can put our hands up and say is we're doing the very best we can and are as careful as we can, and it's you know, it's a learning process for the animals, for us, and you know, for the people watching as well. So it is appreciated that there's so many people who show concern for the animals, whether or not it looks like they're coming from the opposite direction that we are. But I think ultimately we're all really keen for the animals to live their very best life,
happy lives.
Happy lives.
You know, you drive around here, and I can tell you one thing: the animals here are so happy, all of them.
Yeah, although I was going to eat a turkey today.
Who's just like, we could just eat those 2 turkeys. But now I feel the same way about the goats.
I love the goats.
And I hate the goats. But
I love the goats. You love the goats.
So I really do, I feel badly for these guys. They're in a big, gigantic stall. They're running around. They've never really had the opportunity to run around the way they've been running around for the past 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
They have little toys. They have hay bales to jump on. They're having a good time.
And that's what I've got 4 bales of hay.
Yeah.
Okay?
We went and got them a
special.
More hay than the horses.
Yeah. We've got them some second cut today to see how they like that.
But I do feel guilty because I want them to be able to you guys are having, I have no issues, okay? And I want them to be able to get some sunshine. So the plan right now, and unless someone can figure out a reason not to do this, is eventually this spring, where the goats are, we will out there on there's a big cement area that is there's a fence around there that is rabbit proof. Ziggy has not been able to penetrate that fence, so we're going to use that platform for the rabbits and maybe the turkeys and a few other things. It is surrounded. In order to get into that area, something would have to jump a 4-foot fence and then jump another 4-foot fence to, it's just not, and there's, you know, everything comes in at night anyway, so I think that's a pretty safe place to put, that's the safest place I can think to put the rabbits. Other than that, we can
the rabbits will be locked inside at night.
They're always locked inside at night. And the only other place which I don't want to put them is where they were originally, which is a little tiny place where the 2 chickens are. That's just, they don't get to run around.
Much a far bigger space than most rabbits have.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the area that these rabbits were in was probably 4 feet by 2 feet.
Yeah.
And enough that they could kind of lie comfortably next to each other and turn around, and you know, that's not okay. Sorry, and that's it will keep them alive, but I want them to be happy. So.
There we are.
Then there are one other thing. There are indoor rabbits don't have the kind of coat these guys have.
Yeah, they're actually outdoorsy rabbits.
Yeah, they're very outdoorsy. So. Do we have any questions?
Hey, well, I opened it.
I can't.
I'm going to put him down, okay, because he's getting squirmy. I'm worried because I've got to be back in a sec. You just chat amongst yourselves, Janine. Chat.
I don't know why he's so active with you. He's never like that with me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I'm a funny whisperer, I think. She's very active. She doesn't like to get picked up. You got to pick her up really gently. But it's good. I want to pick them up a lot so they get used to it. And then when we have, I think there's babies in here. And if we do have babies, we're going to handle them as they grow up, so that they're nice, easy to handle, funny. So, it's very pretty now. Very funny. I wish I could read the questions, but my hands are busy.
Look, I looked at the coat again. He just did that? No, not a rabbit. See that saddle rack that's outside there?
I'm going to get rid of that.
Look at it.
Okay, so that saddle rack, Arthur cut his nose on it, Dimitri cut his nose on it. I have rips and everything else. We're just going to take that down.
Yes, and you know what? I haven't been able to wash my coat because I think the stuffing is going to come out. Oh, right, better do these.
It's nice to have a nice warm rabbit on me.
Yeah.
And Carlene is refusing to leave the house.
Yeah, for rubs and butt.
Yes.
She's like, is it icy out there? I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah.
It's Wednesday, it's the last month.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took an entire month to get here.
Oh my goodness. So that's $4,954
Yes.
and 50 cents. Thank you so very much.
Because right now there's about $100 in the account. I've been waiting for that check forever.
Perfect.
Forever. So when she went into the co-op today with the Goldie's Farm, I was like, I hope that's gonna work.
I'd have been right out.
Take mine just in case. Yeah. So.
Oh dear. Now this is. So I'm not sure who this is from. This is from Goldie's Farm. Oh, that's lovely. A very pretty card. Oh. Now is that Jeannie Mac? Mac. Right, you know, times 12, I don't know what class it's from. There's a letter with it. Okay. Oh, and a check. Oh, thank you very much. It is Jean Mac.
That's so funny. I said to my son, please just sit in here till I feel calm.
Are you reading or?
Can you read it? So it, yeah.
Okay. I am also known as Kia and Ryder Bruno's grandmother.
Oh.
I don't know who. I'm pronouncing this wrong because it's cursive. And you may remember them from their visit this past summer.
Oh yes, Kai.
Yes. Kai. Okay. Yes. All right.
Oh.
When I asked Kai what he wanted for Christmas, he requested that I make a donation to Goldie's Farm. Oh, that's lovely. All right.
Thank you.
It makes me very happy. He loves watching the mail time and loves seeing the farm. And I hope you had a great Christmas and look forward to hearing about the farm. And Kia loves to share. Kai loves to share any updates. Thank you so much, Kai. And I hope you guys come to visit us in 2026 because you're going to see how the property's really come into its own and the animals are doing so fantastic. We'd love to have you back.
Yes,
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you.
there's another lovely card. Thank you. Oh gosh, thank you very much. This is from Diane, Drew, and Janine. It says Happy Christmas, thank you. Okay, this is donated by Toby Sawyer and Diane and Tim Drew.
Thank you. And if you can Maine, you can always drive down and come visit. Just let Elizabeth know you're coming. She'll cook something for you. She's like that, you know.
That's from Anne.
And Getchell. Oh, nice. Oh,
Yes.
I haven't talked to her in a while.
There you
I gotta get back to her.
Thank you very much, Anne. Much appreciated. And another thing we were discussing today on our way to the job while we got lost. It was a very good job today. We saw 40 people.
Did you do the?
No, but I'll do that.
Okay. Because I can do it. I just didn't.
No, I will do that because I should get into the way of remembering to do that.
Because I always feel bad. Like we drive home and when I said how many people did you see, and you said I don't even know what you said. 40, and I was like I tried counting and I came up with 42, and I didn't want like to me to put it in at 42 and then down at 40. Yeah.
It
I think I counted it was actually 42.
It was 42.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people coming and going, and then people kept coming in the door.
Yeah.
This is our first
yeah,
visit
that's
to
really
this
good.
place. Absolutely
We
wonderful.
loved it.
Lovely people, and it was a super job. What now? No. Stop. We put you a special one over there for your ducky doodah.
Thanks for telling me.
I told you now.
You have gloves because it's cold out.
I've got 8 gloves.
I do have gloves, but
I've got one.
when I'm doing water, I don't wear gloves because they get wet and then your hands get colder.
I think I might have a match to that in the truck.
Oh no, I don't. Oh wait, those are my gloves. No, we've got matching gloves.
Because I've lost mine completely.
So I have 2 of them this morning.
Oh,
I've got one now.
Okay, look at the truck. I think there's one single glove in the truck.
Yeah, maybe mine. See. Oh yeah, probably is. I had them in my pocket.
Yeah.
Took my smelly coat off. Okay. So
the job was really good.
So it was really super. The only problem we had with the job, we took Willow, we took Larky, and we took, not that rabbit, but we took Moose with us. And Carol met us there, which was very much appreciated, particularly since we went to Nelson Avenue and not Nelson Street.
Yeah.
So we were 15 minutes late because it took 15 minutes to get from Nelson Avenue to Nelson.
It was Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Oh,
Johnson
well, that
Avenue.
was even worse.
Yeah.
And not only that, we were sitting outside the first destination, like, this just looks like someone's house. we were about to disembark
Yeah,
and
like,
go,
I kept to knock on the door with a rabbit. It was pretty great day.
Exactly. It was a good, like,
Hello.
Yeah. So that was,
I mean, there was a lot of people that were, it was a good group, because I'm worried that we're not going to be able to provide the level of entertainment that people expect from the, during the winter months, but the bunny, Willow she was really naughty today. She gets really naughty when Wanda's there. But she was a great entertainment, and thank God we had Carol there, because Willow was a full-time job. And Carol does such a good job with the bunny, and you got to keep an eye on him because he doesn't really know where he is. He seems to like people and getting patted and staying in the carriage, which is good.
yes.
So
Isn't she pretty?
She is pretty. Now, wait, this isn't just a mark, is it?
I don't know.
Right, so the way to tell the rabbits apart is they're technically called blue rabbits, which means they're dark grey. And the little girl here, Madeline, she actually has a little white mark in one of her ears. So there.
And
She's much bigger.
she's much bigger.
Yeah.
But she might not be. Well, she's longer too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might try to get them on camera. If there are babies, we could try to get them on camera somehow.
Yeah.
Because the babies might be fun to watch.
I'm traumatized now. We don't discuss that.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like, what do we do with these?
I don't know what we were thinking.
Mr. Google.
But I didn't want him to be without his friend, and I didn't want her to be alone. So they're all happy. We'll be miserable when because these little bunnies are fine. But we don't need to make more than this. No, we're not going to be. We're going to have to figure that out.
Oh, right. So that was very good. And
tomorrow we have off. The School of the Deaf sent me a message wanting to set up an appointment for either Friday or Monday, but I haven't heard back from them. So, we may have a job Friday or Monday. And tonight we're going to be up late partying.
Yeah. No. I've got my eyes on my pajamas.
Yeah. I've got a warm shower, pajamas. And, that's it. Michelle will probably come over and we'll have a little glass of wine, but that's about it. Because Michelle is right over the walkway, and neither one of us would ever want to get in a car and go anywhere. So I can just walk over to the cabin, or she can walk over to my house. So, or I could just go to bed early, like 7.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's a bit of a treat, really.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, so let me have a look and see. Well, Mary, in reply to we're not really putting up with naysayers. We have to, you have to cover every eventuality, every set of circumstances, and we're always answerable to what happens on the farm.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually the beauty of this setup. And sometimes it's very frustrating because it's very open, totally and utterly transparent. You see probably as much as we do, and you see the daily runnings of it's a working farm.
Yeah.
It's a sanctuary, and its main purpose is to attend to the animals. We're very small in our staffing levels.
Yeah.
Janine.
Yeah. So Janine to me is like we don't actually have staff.
Yeah, exactly.
We have Judy.
That's how you could.
Yeah, we have Judy, and Judy's fantastic. And Judy splits her time between getting paid with Goldie's Farm and getting paid with my mother.
And all the extra things she does.
So we do have a staff. Her name is Judy, but she's away for the next 6 weeks.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it is, I think the thing that we must always remember is that, we're allowed to disagree, we're allowed to have differences of opinion, and we can answer them, and but we strongly believe we're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't, the welfare of the animals comes first. Yeah, but I think a lot of people just don't understand, because either there's stuff that happens outside of the cameras,
Yeah.
and, there's stuff that happens outside of the cameras, and there's stuff that happens on a farm that people, we're not dealing with people, and the healthcare system and all of that. These are animals, and life is just different for animals. I did notice the other day that the camera in the yard is actually, you can see my windows upstairs.
I don't move that camera, I just Nick.
So I,
Are you running around with the routine disease?
I apologize to anyone. I was told that nobody could see my windows,
I
so.
thought it was
I
really
really
good.
Yeah. What?
I thought it was
I'd
fine.
like to move, because there's a lot of cameras that don't show enough animals. Well, because everything's inside now, everything's hiding from the cold. Like the goats aren't out because it's cold, they're in the seagull house. And then the ducks, I can only move the camera, but the ducks seem to stay over close to the, either to the shed, or they're not in the pond anymore. It's we're on a winter schedule, and I don't know if and I think people like the yard camera because they like to watch us load. Yeah, so that's how we
Put some play with the ice.
Yeah. Or maybe they just like to see me.
Oh, maybe that
late
is
at night. No, I'm only kidding. That was people
We're changing your glasses.
they
of
people
white.
are forever banned from. They would never want to watch the cameras again.
So, so where was I? We've got sand. Jane's been sprinkling a little dash of sand just about everywhere.
Yeah. Today I did out back by the Tanner barn, because getting the wheelbarrow up the hill to the manure pile was complete. I got it 3/4 up almost to the top, and then fully back. Me and the wheelbarrow.
Yeah. At least you didn't sit down in the wheelbarrow.
Right,
Come over you.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday we were emptying wheelbarrows in Meredith, and it was like gale force wind.
Oh.
And as soon as you went that way, the wind clicked round, and then you got a face full of shavings. I was like, honestly,
But it was shavings that had been slept on.
We don't.
Yeah.
Living the dream. Yep, lovely. So, now, let me see. So that's how you tell the rabbits apart. And
My rabbit's so good. She loves it. See,
my rabbit's in there eating.
She's the best rabbit. Look at her. She's just all cuddly.
You want a cookie? No, not the cookies are there. I gave her a cookie and she was like, yeah, no. She was like, yeah, no. She's not hungry. Did you hurt your leg?
Oh, I got nailed by, I got a gigantic bruise on my shin bone.
Who did that?
Magnus, no, I did get kicked by, Sterling, but he just barely got me. Magnus, it did look like he was going to kick me today, so he got in trouble. Magnus is a naughty donkey, but he's really good at his job. Yeah, he is. But he is food aggressive, always been that way. Yeah. And when you walk behind him, when he's eating his grain, he will pick up a foot, and I will chase him away.
Yeah, because he just thinks you're another member of the herd.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you can complain to other donkeys, you cannot complain to people. So I almost got kicked by him today, but I got nailed by a bony part of Willow. I don't know what it, her head, could have been her head. She came running out the door because I was with Wanda, and she went to go after Wanda, and something hit my shin bone. Oh, I got a big gigantic egg there. So nasty. So I did limp around for a little while, but I got over it because I have a high threshold pain. I had to sit down and cry a little bit, but I have a high threshold of pain.
Excellent. Yeah. So we were going to do chicken chatting on Friday, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's New Year's Day.
And we'll be nursing our hangovers from staying up till
8. Pushing the boat out.
Yeah. Friday's good.
And we have a horse, what we think is going to its new home on Thursday. So we're going to get that.
Oh, yeah. Because we are wrapping up the year-end world. That would mean we're about to buy another load of hay too. So all pennies that have gone to the hay and some of this state check will go to bring an entire 18-wheeler down from Canada because of hay, which we do every. Has it been 2 months or 3 months?
No, it's been about 6 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
It was November.
look on that, but they go through, we go through so much hay. But it's all good, it's all good, that's part of what we do.
Yeah, then we get to pick it up at the other end.
Yes, yes, we are definitely in that business.
And she's just so cuddly. He loves it. He loves it.
Oh, that is probably hit the bench on the way down.
Oh, yes, something like that.
But I think she had an heart attack first.
Okay, yes, something happened. I can't remember. But one other thing I'd like to say is that in my entire history of living on this property and being associated with this property, because I've not always lived here, nor do I identify as living here now, even though I seem to, I've never seen any animal get hit by a car in my entire history. Given the only thing that has happened is Ron and Gwen partially ran over their dog. But the dog survived. It broke its leg because it was sleeping underneath the car on a hot summer's day.
Oh, right.
They didn't know, and they drove off and broke the dog's leg. But I've never seen it's scary, but you know, like Wanda runs out in front of cars, but she sees the car. She's not going to let you run her over, but she's going to just run around the car. So, and there's a ton of signs that say slow down, but we can't control every driver that comes up the driveway. And the 3 months we have, we probably should put them back this summer. We still have them all, and we'll probably, if we have issues with
Wait till your mum's out.
yeah,
If we're lucky. I, honest to goodness, have never come across a more rampantly scary driver than your mother. And she corners that thing, and I'm like, am I ballast so it doesn't topple?
Yeah, and then she backs into my car and then pulls forward and bounces off the trailer and then and she's always been that way. That's not an old age thing.
Yeah.
And she does come flying down from the house.
Oh, yeah. She comes flying up the driveway as well, and she says, this is how I cool down. Zoom! And I'm like, I'm having palpitations. So, if this is not neutered, what is the plan to prevent a bunny population explosion?
That is a really good question. I have a plan, and Elizabeth and I haven't really talked about it, but one of the plans was to bring to have it so that Moose is out, and then that gigantic cage that's over in Donkey Cafe, bring it across here, put that into the area where the mother bunny is, like in with the dog, on the donkey, on the platform I'm calling, and then have him in during the day, in the cage during the day, or half the day, and then her out, and then switch them, back and forth. Or, the other thought that we've talked about is the area where the 2 turkeys live. I talked to Elizabeth about this today. She said, well, could just eat the 2 turkeys, because she doesn't like the turkeys.
I'm worried the turkey, if we do end up having baby rabbits, I'm worried the turkeys eat them.
Yeah,
because they can be a bit picky.
Yeah, so we're still working on that, but I've got a plan for that too. But the area where the turkeys are will be the staging area for the boy, and we can put a little hole and have him have his own little run out area, so he can see the girl, but he can't have sex with them. So we're thinking about those. We got some time. Well, we really don't, but we'll figure it out. The right now, if this bunny has her baby tomorrow, we'll do what we did in the turkeys. We'll just isolate an area for him to be with her, but in his own area, so he can't actually get to her. And then she'll have company with her baby, so she won't really care. But we'll have to pick him up and put him out with the goats in the goat area sometime. Make sure he gets a little bit of, or put him next door in the other red stall so that he gets a little time to run around.
Right.
By himself.
That's a good idea.
Because the 2 red stalls where they are right now, the 2 of them are both empty, but there's no sun that comes in there. No, but I keep the light on during the day.
Yeah, and it does actually have a window area.
Yep.
Higher up. Yeah. It's not like it's in darkness. But remember, the flicking things live in burrows.
Yeah.
So what animals? Right. So this is the interesting thing. If Angus is not going to Aiken, we don't think Flower's going.
No. They're planning on bringing Angus. I asked if he could bring Flower, and he said he has to see if he has retailer, that he doesn't know how many horses he's bringing and blah, 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 so.
Flowers
And he
more
said,
delicate.
he said tentatively yes. Okay. And I said, well, you know, Angus and Flower could go in there in the same, he's trying to be box stalls. They could go in the same stall.
I thought you were going to say they could go in the dressing room, and I thought they don't look like they would have animals in their dressing room.
Yeah, so right now, tentatively is Angus is going down with Flower. But anything could change on that whole side, but Angus is going with Flower, and they're gonna be down in, they're staying at, my house down in Aiken. And they'll be with Chester and Sunshine, all out in the paddock together.
And you're taking the 2 chickens as well.
And the 2 chickens. Yeah.
Have you forgotten any animals?
What?
We haven't forgotten any animals.
No, but I do have another plan, but we'll talk about it later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we always have plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D.
Yeah. And then the other plan that we actually go with.
Yeah, because it's always best laid plans when it comes to animals. Things change.
All the time. All the time. Carol, I'm hoping to be in bed before you if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock.
Oh, I'll definitely be in bed.
Yeah. Sophie has got in her fizzy apple juice.
Oh,
yeah. If I'm lucky, I might get some of that today. Might have to get late for that though. What day are you planning going south?
Still, again, that's a fluid plan. I don't know. I'd like to be down there in time to do that job on the 6th. But then we've got a court date on the 8th. I hate the cold. I'd love to go today, tomorrow, anytime. But so I haven't decided. So we haven't even decided. Elizabeth was originally coming down with me, and we haven't decided. I'd like Elizabeth to have a little time off and come down to Aiken. So we still have to figure that out too. Yep. So.
And I have a bit of a problem because my passport's back in the UK getting renewed.
Why would you need a passport?
Or just why not? Do you have a license though? Can't travel my license any longer. Apparently, I haven't flown in well over a year. Apparently, they changed it in May. Is that right? Do you mind about this?
I do the real ID thing.
And I don't have a real ID.
Yeah, okay, so the real ID, I think you get fined for $40 or something, but that's something we get to research before we put one.
Yeah, so I don't actually have anything other than my driver's license.
Yeah, and to get a real ID, I think you need, I haven't done the real ID.
It takes ages, doesn't it?
No, well, I don't know.
I don't have a passport to take.
Yeah, you have to have a passport and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, so I was a bit shocked by that. And I actually asked Judy, and Judy said, you have to fly on a real ID or a passport. So that's neither at the moment.
Okay, so that's
interesting.
Okay, so I guess Elizabeth is not coming.
So I did look at trains to come back, and I also looked at buses.
Okay, yeah,
It was about 6 stops on a bus. So it was only like 2 in a train.
Yeah, but that's not how you want to fly. You could come down.
I wouldn't be flying on a train, no.
I know, but that's not how you want, because you're going to drive down. So let's just wait. You can come down as soon as you get all your.
As soon as I'm legal to leave.
And then you just fly down and fly back. All right. So no vacation for you.
And I'll be like, Janine, I flew down via Pennsylvania. Guess what I've got in the back?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. No more.
So we've got, we're not going to do mail chat tomorrow, and we're going to do chatting on Friday.
Yeah.
And we do have plans to upgrade the board.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, because we're going down with that 530.
Is that what we're putting
up? Because the roughly 5,000 that comes in is enough to sustain Goldie's Farm. And maybe it's in the future when we start getting lots of grants that we'll reduce that number. But right now that's the plan, because we are just operating off of what comes in from the henny penny and the hay, and that's enough to keep us going. So.
And guess what? We move the camera at night.
Oh, good. Okay. That makes me feel good. I think she told me that the other day when I was going out there, and I looked and I'm like, holy crap! I was walking around in your PJs, my PJs.
Cloud chatting is on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, and there was something else I did. I meant to. There was somebody that did this whole summary, which was about the court case with Service Dog Project, which was so good. I thought it was Cloud. It looked like something that Cloud would do. but it wasn't, so I thanked the wrong person. So I have to go back and thank the right person. Although Cloud does so much for us, and she actually has now taken over the moderator role. Because I'm always just so busy with doing so many other things, and I don't always have time to track down all these little details. So Cloud has taken over the mod. So anytime you complain about the stuff now, talk to Cloud. She has the same access that I do, and that's good. And then so there was a summary on the. Someone took 7 hours to go through the document. There's a 700-page document that was from the Service Dog Project of the discovery that is up there. And I don't think she read the whole thing of that, but there's a lot of documentation up there. She gave a great summary, and I learned stuff I didn't even know. Yeah. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And I showed it to my mother, and she's like, "Oh, okay, now I get it."
Oh, I think this is from Lisa
More
and
fun
Bob.
food.
Thank you, Lisa and Bob. And somebody sent the box that's at the bottom. Did you open that box? I opened that box.
I did not open that box.
Oh,
They love these.
Dave,
They love
she
these.
wants to do things. And there's definitely no nail calls tomorrow.
Let's put them in. Put some in your hand if you want.
The
They can't resist tea plate.
no, I opened up a box earlier that had medalists in it and those marigold and
Okay.
those biscuits.
You're going to put some tea plate. You're going to have tea plate. That's from Lisa and Bob. So I try and answer your emails as soon as I get them.
I'm terrible.
Otherwise, I forget.
Yeah, I'm terrible about that. You should fire me. I really, okay.
That's why I fired her for years. Doesn't work. She keeps coming back like a bad nail.
She had to put it away because she couldn't handle it. You gotta love a tea plate.
She went, no, I don't want a tea plate. I was quite happy sleeping. And now you're trying to force feed her. You don't want tea plate? Darlene's in the house because it's so empty.
Oh, he doesn't want her to eat things.
You don't want tea plate? I really, but
You had one.
it's just, you know, I think I'm taking so long to go through these questions because I have actually answered these further up, okay? No mail call tomorrow. And Madeline is adorable.
She had one. She's a little nervous.
Somebody said, like, okay,
She had another one.
not on the couch, not out.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. You didn't have a tea plate? You didn't have a tea plate? You're very good.
All right, I'll put her. I guarantee she's probably never had treats the way that.
You're trying to force them down her throat.
Okay, I'm gonna go put her away. You're gonna wrap up this.
Yeah, it is either real ID or passport. And can you imagine you drive me down there and I'd never get back? Can you imagine me trying to get back by myself? I'd be all
Imagine me stuck with you down there. I'm going down there for some peace and quiet.
I'd be like, Janine, I've made it into Georgia somewhere. I'm not known for my sense of direction. Oh, dear.
She has really puffy cheeks.
She's lovely. Oops! She just moved the camera.
All right, I'm gonna put her back. Okay.
Oh, we did change the curtains. I found curtains in my basement that are thermal lined. So she has 4 curtains up, and I kept the see-through curtains in the middle. So she's got 2 curtains either side, and then the see-through curtains. And during the day, we try and keep the see-through curtains over the window so she can see in and out. She likes to watch what's going on. And then at night time, we close the set curtains. So PJs are definitely better than no PJs. Caring. Oh, thank you very much for that quote review. Did you give Sally her brain? Yes.
She's had dinner.
Yes.
Okay, tell this one.
Right, okay. Well, Cloud, I'll tell you, and I'll say it to Janine's face as well, you have an open hell of getting in contact with Janine because she reads her texts, her emails, and then she wanders off and forgets. And I know because I watch her. That's why you sometimes see me running around after her going, Janine, one answer. It's tricky. But I do know that if I don't answer something immediately, it then goes so far down the list of emails or texts, and then I forget about it. And then when I'm looking for something, I come across it and go, "Ooh, better get that done." But I do try and do it as soon as possible. And the other thing I think that Janine and I have been talking about is that yes, they were testing out the pellet stove, and it is working, but we're just waiting for it to have its sign off, and then we're good to go. The other thing we were talking about is trying to review the year, things that we need to change, things that we can improve upon, things that we're doing well, things that have been successful. And with regard to mail chat, I think what I have zipper topped waterproof envelopes, and I'm going to bring 3 of them over, because people very often send us in things for the henny penny, checks, cash, etc. for the hay, and then there's just general correspondence, and I think we'll put them through 3 different envelopes, because I have a feeling that what's happening is Charlene historically has been in charge of the MadelineMoose, and we're having a bit of a tug of war, and as you might have noticed with this one, she got to renew the board quicker than Janine did, which is why we ended up with that number. So it's something that I think we all need to have the ability to review, because it's obviously password protected, and I think we're going to try and streamline that, and it should make the sending out of winners far better as well, because at the moment it's a bit of a mess, I'm afraid to say, and it's not meant to be disrespectful. It's just there's too many people thinking everyone else is doing it, so we're going to have to get that organised and to move forward with that more efficiently. But there's lots of things that we're reviewing, things that we're trying to streamline and push forward. If you get any suggestions, please do let us know, because sometimes when you're at the front of the action, you're reacting and not thinking about it. So your reactions are sometimes not what they would be if you'd had time to think of a better way. So it's always interesting. We always appreciate people pointing things out that we should do better. Or it's nice to know about things that you did well, but it's a process. It's real life. It's not to be sniffed at, and everybody's opinion is appreciated. So thank you very much. I hope everybody has a really lovely, calm New Year's Eve, or Hogmanay as we would say if we were in Scotland, and we're looking forward to next year. I'm sure 2026 is going to be bigger and better. I hope for everybody it's a lovely, calm, happy year to come. So we will see you on Friday, and have a wonderful evening and New Year's Day tomorrow. And now I'm left with all this that she's left for me. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh. Oops. And after I said all that, I'm just going to leave those in my chair. Otherwise, I'll take them in the barn and lose them. Oh, okay. Oh, my gosh.